Welcome to Proceeding Onward in America.
POA.
Today we're going to talk about electrical and how to hook it up. Right now, I am next to the pedestal for our site. We also want to make sure our breaker is off inside before we start anything. Prior to hooking up, your connections. Some of the sites are made for 50 amps, some are for 30, or if you're in your backyard, you're 20 amps. So you're going to need different things depending on what location you're in. Ours is equipped for a 50 or 30 amp. Our trailer runs on a 30 amp. This is our plug that came with it. You see that has 3 prongs. Okay? For a 50 amp, it has 4 prongs. So if we were at a campground and only had 50 amps available, we are attach this into the pedestal and then attach our 30 to help convert it so it becomes a 30 amp for our RV. Since this is equipped with both 50 or 30 amp, we do not need this dog bone for this experiment. For this lovely little adapter, this is from the 20, which is your house, to your 30. So if we were attached to my mom's house or wherever we were staying at before, we would just attach, and this will convert into the 30 amps for us for the camper. So those are some differences that you may need to do later on while you're traveling to make sure that you have these adapters to adapt to whatever condition you're in. Now, if my lovely assistant, my love, comes on over here, I'll show you the differences in the pedestal. Okay, inside the pedestal, you have your different connections. This is the one that I mentioned for the 4 prongs. That means that's the 50 amp. So if your RV is 50 amp, that is what you'll be using. Since we are the 30 amp, this is what we'll be using. And then also for this one, it does have the special for residential and all that for 20 amps, but we will not be using any of those. You also have your on and off switches up here, so you can turn off the breaker before inserting any of these plugs. Right now, this one is off and these are off. This is your 30, 20, and this one's 50. You can see it labeled on there. Most of them are labeled. Now, another option that you can have is a power protector to help protect any surges throughout the park or wherever you're staying at. The one that we purchased is for our 30 amp, and it also shows lights. So when we plug it in, we can double check before we plug in any of our camper stuff and see what the lights indicate. If it's a good ground, if it's correct wiring. There's one place that we connected it to, it wasn't the correct wiring. So we saved our camper from that issue while we're there. Maybe it may have a reverse polarity or anything like that. So it has an open neutral, open ground. It will protect you from ruining anything inside your camper. So we will insert this into our 30 amp. There you go. Lift this up. Right now you won't see any lights because this is turned off. So once I turn on the 30 amps, it says blue and green are on. So when the green is on, the surge protection's on. If you see a blue on and the red is off, this would be red, that means you have the correct wiring. So you are safe to hook up. Let me take this and you plug it on in. Oh, I'll turn this off real quick. And I'll plug this on in. I didn't want to have a live wire, so that's all plugged in. I'll fix this in a moment. You can also attach a lock to this, so that way you don't have to worry about people stealing it. These are not cheap. They're pretty expensive, so get a lock if you have one. Let's get power. So over here, you have all your different little things. So this is for the connection for your 30 amp. It says it right here. Or for your 110 or 125. But for your 30 amp, you'll see and you'll match. It's like a puzzle piece. You match where it all goes in. If you notice on here, this one has a special little lip on the inside of it. So you want to find that one to fit there, and then the rest fit just fine. So right here, this one has a little lip on it. So you make that lip go in there. Turn this to the right, Then turn this to lock it on in. And there you go. The electrical is hooked up. And then turn on the 30 amp. And that is how you do your power to your RV. Thank you for watching, and keep following us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and also don't forget to become our Patreon. And let us know what else you want us to video for you. Bye-bye. Also, boop. Yay! Now it's on.